guys, so I have never made a YouTube video in my entire life, but I have recently become obsessed with all of the piercing tags, and I figured I watched so many that I might as well make one myself. So yeah, I got my first piercing was definitely my ears, obviously. My first holes, you can see them. I think I got those done when I was like 8 at Claire's with a piercing gun, as does every other 8-year-old girl. I also have my second holes done. Don't have any jewelry in that now because my ears were getting overwhelmed by the amount of metal in them. The whole reason I got my second holes pierced was because my little brother got invited to go to a a pool party, and I was so jealous when I was younger. So as a form of compromise, my mom took me to Claire's, and I got my seconds done. And then after my seconds, it was probably about 7th or 8th grade that I did my cartilage. And also at Claire's, there's nothing in that one either, but there's a hole there. And I got that one done 7th or 8th grade, and that was the worst healing I've ever experienced in my entire life. I've always been told that piercing with a gun is terrible, and I never experienced that with your lobes because, of course, it's not as sensitive of an area as your cartilage is. But when I got my cartilage pierced, it was really hard to sleep on for the first 2 months, which is completely normal, but it came down to, it was 2 years later and I still couldn't sleep on my left side. And then I got an infection, and then somehow the jewelry became too tight and it got lodged and a huge blood bubble formed, and my dad had to help me remove the jewelry because it was stuck so bad because it was so swollen. And then we popped the blood bubble. It was, oh god, it was so gross. And so I let that heal up, and then about my sophomore year of high school, I just re-pierced it because it hadn't closed up all the way, and it's fine now, but I just have so many other piercings that that one to me isn't the most important. After my cartilage, what was next? Oh, I got my tragus done. I keep on showing piercings that I don't even have jewelry in. I got my left side pierced because I was so angry that the whole cartilage thing didn't work out. So I got my left side pierced, and I got it done a couple towns over, and he used a needle and everything. It was really sanitary, but again, I have an issue with scarring happening with piercings, and so that one never healed right either, and again, I couldn't sleep on the left side of my body. And so it kept getting worse and worse, and then scar tissue ended up building up, and I had a bubble forming on my tragus, and the jewelry was getting tighter and tighter, and I couldn't loosen it, and it was stuck. And again, my dad came to save the day with a pair of pliers, and he had to untwist. He had to plier it out of my ear. It was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. There's a lot of blood. And my mom was so angry, and she said, "You're never getting another piercing again." But of course, that didn't stop me from anything. So since I was angry that I had to take that one out, I went and I got my rook done. I have my rook on my right ear. It's right in there. I guess I just don't have good luck with piercings at all, because that one was a pain in the butt to heal, and that one for me on a pain scale was one of the most painful because it's such a thick area of cartilage that the needle has to go through. So that one wasn't that fun to experience either, and it wasn't until I got my my industrial, or my scaffold, in that one healed. I think it's because my ear was trying so hard to heal another piercing that it gave up on healing that one and just, I don't know, it doesn't hurt anymore, so I'm not complaining. But then after that, I got my, I did one triple, so that is stretched to a 16, which is absolutely nothing, and a 16 gauge is barely even bigger than an 18 gauge, but my best friend pierced that in my dorm room last year with a safety pin and an apple. And I wouldn't recommend doing it that way, but it was like a bonding moment, I guess. And that one did get infected, not surprisingly, but I just cleaned it up and it's completely fine now. It was pierced with an 18 and then I switched it to a 16 just for funsies. After that, on my 19th birthday, I pierced my, which side is it, this one? I pierced my, I don't really know, I guess this is part of your helix, but I call it my midway. I pierced it myself and that was terrible. I was in my bedroom and I was using, I started off using a safety pin, but then I switched to just a plain piercing earring that I got from Claire's when I got my singles done. So I pierced that one myself, and I faint at the sight of blood. So I was going in and out of consciousness, and it just wasn't fun. And then it took about 45 minutes for me to pierce my own ear, only because I thought I was going to pass out about 5 different times. But that one didn't hurt that much, even though it took 45 minutes. It was just really hot and burning and throbbing. But so I would definitely recommend not piercing your own ears. And then after that, I got my conch done, which is just through the center of your ear. And everyone thinks that that's going to be the most painful piercing because you're basically going through your ear as opposed to just the outside of your ear. And everyone says, oh, you're going to hear a pop when it goes through, you're going to pass out, it's going to be so disgusting, you're going to faint, this, that. And when I got it done, I didn't hear a pop, I didn't hear anything. It was really quick and easy, and that one, it's still kind of healing because I only got it done about a year ago. So that one's coming along. And then last August, before I went back to my university, my best friend wanted to get her septum pierced, so I went in with her and made the rash decision to get my scaffold. So that one is that giant bar right there, and my parents hate me for it, and they think it looks like a safety pin, which it kind of does, but this one, I'm surprised at how well that healed. It has probably healed faster than any of my other cartilage piercings. And you'd think it wouldn't because it's a giant bar in your ear. The only thing I have trouble with is when I part my hair, I always tuck it behind this ear and it always gets caught and bothers it. But other than that, it was a really not bad piercing. And I got it done in Chicago, and the piercer was incredible, and we were doing breathing exercises, and it was just, that piercing it's probably one of my favorites. And then, I think that's all in my ears. And then the most obvious is my nose. I got that done in January because I'm currently studying abroad in the UK, and I decided that I would be a crazy European and get my nose pierced. I got it done with just a plain silver screw. So I went in and basically she shoved a tiny cork up my nose, counted to 3 and just went for it. My nose bled quite a lot, and I had to blot it, and it kept bleeding probably the entire day, and that night too. But the pain wasn't that bad, and then within 2 days I couldn't even tell that it was there, except for the fact that it looked like a giant ball in my nose. It always looks a lot bigger than it actually is. And then the whole reason I got it pierced was because I wanted to put a hoop in. And so 8 weeks after, exactly on the 8-week mark, I took out the screw and shoved this puppy in my nose. And the piercer wasn't too keen on me doing it that quickly, but I was just so excited. But I never experienced any, people complain about nose bumps, and I mean, I've gotten them on my cartilage, but I've never gotten them on my nose. So my nose healed really, really, really well. And this hoop is actually, sorry if this is gross, it's like a halfway hoop. So it's not a full hoop, which means it's really easy to take in and out. And yeah, so that is my piercings. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything. Just feel free to ask, and yeah, thank you.